Hundreds of women were joined by female law enforcement officers in a march from Lillian Ngoyi Square to the Union buildings in Pretoria. The women in uniform, as well as other female citizens, reenacted the 1956 Women's March in order to commemorate the 68th anniversary of that particular march. Over 20,000 women marched against apartheid as well as stringent pass laws back in 1956.
The official event organized to commemorate Women's Day has finally wrapped up. It was organized by the provincial government, and we saw women led by a woman in uniform. These were women from the police service as well as emergency services, as among others, really just reenacting that walk from 1956, where 20,000 women walked from Lillian Ngoyi Square all the way to the Union building against the apartheid government and against holding or being carriers of what was popularly known as dompas, and they were not residents of South Africa, were not treated rather as residents of South Africa, as they had to explain themselves everywhere they went because they did not have freedom of movement. And today, one lady said the ANC has done a lot in terms of ushering in the freedom of South Africans and of women, and urged young women and South Africans to take up spaces in positions of authority and to do so with dignity. Right now, I'm joined by the MEC for Education, Sports, Recreation, Arts and Culture, who was here also giving his message of commemoration and to women in South Africa. Thank you so much again for taking the time to speak to us. You've said quite a bit in your address. You've spoken about women empowerment. You've spoken about the past. You've actually paid tribute to the women of 1956. Mama Matikizela, Umamu Winnie Matikizela Mandela. You've also mentioned Mama Helen Joseph among those. Talk to us about why it was important to mention these stalwarts as you address the women who came here to celebrate.
As you know, that a person who does not know self, which is their past and history, really understands where they're going. So I was reminding the young ones and also the women present today that they are standing on shoulders of giants. They are standing on shoulders of women who are fearless, who say watinta bafazi watinta imbokodo. When you strike a woman, you strike a rock, and that demonstrated during a very oppressive regime. And they went against all, came in their numbers to demonstrate the injustice of that period of time. So it was just a reminder, but also to make them understand that in this new democratic country of ours, 30 years down the line, the challenges still persist. The inequality still persists, patriarchy still persists, and now we're dealing with a new demon called GBV, and women need to stand up together. And I also spoke to men. It was not just directed at women. The perpetrator always remains the man, and men also the role they need to play in this struggle for women.
Now, you spoke about how women in today's society are not your ordinary women who stay at home and look after the children. While there's nothing wrong with doing that, there are those who might want to occupy and assume positions of authority, such as those of being CEOs. I heard you encouraging women and mothers to raise both girls and boys in order to take up those spaces. Why was that important?
We need to do away with stereotypes. The boy of today needs to understand the woman of today. And it's important that as we raise women to take up positions, we must also raise our boys to respect, and uphold and protect this future of our country. So to defeat patriarchy, it needs to start at a very young age. And that's what I was saying, that as much as we are pushing this, we must also push on don't leave this one behind with the stereotype mentality, and then we are pushing for emancipation on one side. This huge development is going to cause us problem in the long run. So that's what I was saying, that the responsibility of mothers in particular, because mothers are the ones who are raising children, they need to really prepare both the young women and the young men of the future of this country. and how it's going to look.
Thank you so much for your time. There you have it. That is the MEC for Education, Sports, Arts, Recreation and Arts and Culture speaking to us on the sidelines of the official Provincial Women's Day commemorations here in Pretoria. It's back to you in the studio.